How's it going, kiddos? HandsomeJackBoy here, bringing you guys a fairly random video. I wanted to give you guys a behind-the-scenes look at my latest cinematic movie, the all 36 legendary weapons montage that I did for Borderlands 2. I figured, why not do a behind-the-scenes like montage, or not montage, behind-the-scenes look kind of video at it. Just what goes into these cinematic movies, because I've created other ones in the past. Some of the other ones that I've made were a lot more work than this one. This one was just kind of like a for fun montage, and I wanted to have fun with it and not really, have it as much work as some of the previous ones that I've done. But sorry if I'm not looking at the camera, by the way. It's a little weird. I decided to use my face cam. I'm looking directly at my face right now on the screen, and make sure I don't do any weird facial expressions. I could look directly at the camera, but it's a little weird for me because I'm not super used to using my face cam and everything. So I actually haven't showed my face too much on my channel. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into this. Alright, so as you can see right now on the screen, I've got Movie Maker open, and this is actually the program that I use to make my videos. And some of you are probably going to be really shocked that I use this program, because you kind of consider it to be at least I think it's considered to be a bad video editing program. But honestly, it's really not that bad. It's got its problems. It's pretty damn basic, but in a good way. Like, I actually really like the simplicity of Movie Maker. That's a big draw for me. I know I can really branch out and get Vegas, and I probably will at some point, Sony Vegas, or just some other video editing program that's more advanced than Movie Maker. But honestly, Movie Maker is where it's at for me, and it's kind of been that way. I've experienced quite a bit of problems with it, and making these cinematic movies with it can be a pain. It can be a pain in the ass because, well, it doesn't really frequently crash, but when you're working with a project that's this big and this many transitions, if you look down here at the bottom left-hand corner of Movie Maker, there's 143 total transitions in this movie. As you can see, all of these little cuts are, well, these transitions, and basically, what I mean by transitions is, let me play this, or just kind of show you like little tidbits. It's basically just whenever the scene changes in the video, and there's 143 of them. So there's three major steps that goes into these movies, sometimes more, but the three major steps are planning, recording, and editing. Those are the three major steps in most of the cinematic movies that I've done. And in this case, the process of recording was probably the hardest. Normally it's actually the editing, but the recording these guns was actually really challenging. Let me actually show you the footage that I had to record here, just all of the footage that I had to record. So right here you have footage for each individual assault rifle. With some of the guns I had to record more than one section of footage. Like, for example, right here with the Hammerbuster, I have 3 pieces of footage. It's kind of just in case, one isn't enough. Because what I actually ended up having to do is go in and kill basically just a few enemies with each gun. And what made this the hardest process wasn't the fact that I had to do this with every gun, but it was the fact that I was having to record these guns on OP8. And recording these guns on OP8 was really difficult. Now, not only did I have to record gameplay of each of these legendary guns, but I had to record the item cards for them as well. Item cards as in basically just inspecting them from my inventory screen, which is this right here. And I had to do that for all of the guns. It was a little bit tedious, I will admit, but let me just show you that there's a lot of footage here that I had to work with. And another thing that happened that I kind of wasn't expecting is that I should have expected is Movie Maker taking forever to load all of this footage. A lot of footage here, and you know, even though most of it is quite small, adding it all up made me realize, like, okay, yeah, there's a lot that it's having to work with here. Plus, it's not all in one clip. It's multiple clips, and by multiple I mean a lot of clips that it has to load. So something else that I did that you may have noticed in my cinematic movie, that I recorded these guns in you know, different areas of the game. What I ended up doing was recording 2 to 3 guns per location, and I went through most of the locations in the main game. I didn't go through any of the DLC areas. I was going to, but I ended up running out of guns before I could get to that point. But I got through most of the vanilla game areas. There was a few that I left out intentionally that I wish I could have gotten to, but it really isn't a big deal. So I wanted to do that, obviously, to kind of spice things up. I didn't want to go through the same areas over and over, you know, with each of these guns. I wanted to spice it up and go through different areas to keep things interesting. I also did that with my Borderlands 1 Legendary Weapons montage, which, if you guys didn't know, that's a thing that I did on my channel. That's the main reason why I started a Borderlands 2 Legendary montage, because that one was so successful, and you know, it just kind of inspired me to make another one. So there are a couple other things I do want to go over really quick. The first of which is planning. There wasn't a lot of planning involved with this movie, so there's not really a lot to talk about with that, but I did, of course, have to, you know, figure out how I was going to put it together, and what song that I was going to use for it ahead of time. Obviously, what song I'm going to use is a big factor in my movie. Like, these movies, all of my cinematic movies actually have a song that's playing, and that's basically that I use as a base for my movie, because without the songs, it just they don't work. They don't really click, you know. There's not a lot of synchronization going on. The song is a big factor, and I have to find that before I even start thinking about, you know, recording for a movie, because if I don't have a song, there's no bass, and it just doesn't really work out. Now, with other movies in the past, I have done a lot more planning. It has taken months to plan, and you know, that's for another video. But anyways, the last thing that I wanted to touch on was just, you know, showing you a little bit more of the editing involved with this. Maybe give you guys a few tips and tricks if you're looking to make your own videos or just your own cinematic movie, and whatnot. Throughout the movie, there was definitely some hiccups here and there, and some sections that were pretty difficult to put together. Like this first section, how many transitions there are. As you can see over here on the preview, it's nuts. It's nuts, and it just wasn't easy to put that together. But I did have a lot of fun with it. Really, just this whole movie was a blast to put together. I mean, there are some other sections here. For example, when the dubstep kind of kicks in, there's a few sections where, you know, some dubstep in the song, and like right here. And I wanted to add a little bit more to the, you know, movie to make it, during these sections, to make it feel like the dubstep is actually like impacting what's going on here. So you know, it's like things are tripping out basically, and I wanted the dubstep moments to just make things a little bit more crazy, right? Add more craziness to the mix. Really, all in all, you know, it was just a lot of fun. I kind of went into it blind. I didn't plan everything completely. Some of it is a little bit like, okay, I got to come up with this on the spot, and not all of it was planned. This really goes for all my other movies. Some of it was just made up on the spot, and you just have to kind of like do it as you go, right? Sorry about the sudden transition. I ended up doing that portion earlier in the day. Something came up that I had to do. That's why the lighting is different. It's actually dark outside now, so I had to turn my light on. But anyways, that's pretty much going to wrap it up, guys. I was going to, you know, give you some tips and tricks on how to make your own like videos and just kind of the essentials, but I think that's for another video. I will do that in the future. I do want to do that. I want to give you guys kind of my point of view when it comes to, you know, starting YouTube, and just things that you want to know if that's something you want to do that I didn't do when I started YouTube. Just overall giving you like a basic rundown of it. But anyways, like I said, that's pretty much going to wrap it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'm out of here. Peace.